The ocean's mysterious depths have captivated humanity for millennia, their dark waters whispering secrets we've barely begun to uncover. With over 80% of our planet shrouded beneath these vast aquatic realms, countless enigmatic creatures lurk in territories human eyes have never witnessed. Today, we're diving deep into the abyss to unveil some of the most extraordinary and spine-tingling beings that call these unexplored depths home. Creatures so bizarre and otherworldly, they seem ripped straight from our darkest maritime legends. And please, be kind. This is my first try, and I hope to entertain, and you all will enjoy it. Thanks. First, on our descent into maritime terror, the Kraken, the colossal nightmare that transformed fearless sailors into trembling men, frantically scribbling their final goodbyes. This wasn't merely an oversized squid lurking in the depths. This was a living island of flesh and fury, sporting eyes massive as cathedral windows and tentacles that could crush ships like matchsticks. Born from the darkest Norse legends, seasoned fishermen would whisper urgent warnings. When the ocean begins to churn and foam unnaturally, flee immediately. Because once you glimpse this titan, your fate is already sealed in the depths below. The terror felt so viscerally real that sailors actually carved "Here be monsters" into their precious navigation charts, marking these cursed waters permanently. But here's where reality crashes into legend. Giant squids do exist, finally captured on film. In the 2000s, after centuries of only tattered flesh, mysterious scars, and bone-deep terror as evidence. Today, the Kraken's shadow looms everywhere, from Pirates of the Caribbean's cinematic seas to God of War's mythic battles, adorning rum bottles and haunting music videos, because something primal within us still shudders at its mention. The question burns: is it real? Perhaps not in legend's form, but our oceans blanket 80% of Earth, while remaining almost completely unexplored. So maybe the Kraken has simply been patiently waiting in the abyss. Next, we plunge into the abyss to meet Jormungandr, the world serpent so impossibly colossal that ancient legends claim his serpentine body encircles our entire planet, his massive jaws clamped eternally around his own tail in an endless Ouroboros of destruction. But Jormungandr isn't merely another sea monster lurking in the depths. He's the monstrous offspring of Loki himself, blood brother to the death goddess Hel and the apocalyptic wolf Fenrir. And he doesn't simply slumber peacefully beneath the churning waves. No, he lies in patient, calculated wait, because the moment this titanic serpent stirs from his oceanic prison, Ragnarok erupts across the 9 realms, heralding the absolute annihilation of existence itself. According to the bone-chilling Norse prophecies, on that final cataclysmic day, he will clash with mighty Thor in their destined battle to the death. Thor's hammer will indeed slay the world serpent, but the thunder god will manage only 9 agonizing steps before collapsing, his veins burning with the serpent's lethal venom. But here's what makes your spine tingle. This mythic terror didn't materialize from pure imagination alone. For centuries, Norwegians have whispered spine-chilling tales of gargantuan sea serpents, and even during the 1800s, Icelanders swore sacred oaths that they witnessed something unthinkable, a serpentine shadow, stretching as long as entire villages cutting through their waters. Today, Jormungandr's presence coils through modern culture, from God of War's epic battles to Assassin's Creed's historical mysteries. But he represents something far more terrifying than just another mythical snake. He embodies an unstoppable force of pure annihilation that cannot be reasoned with, bargained with, or escaped. does he truly exist in our oceans? Logically, absolutely not. But the deeply unsettling idea of something incomprehensibly massive, slowly, silently, wrapping itself around everything we know while we remain blissfully unaware is genuinely terrifying in ways that transcend mere legend. You've undoubtedly heard whispers of our next apex predator, the megalodon, a prehistoric shark so monumentally massive it stretched up to 60 feet of pure, calculated destruction through ancient seas. Picture jaws so devastatingly powerful they could effortlessly crush a modern car into twisted metal, armed with serrated teeth, each measuring the size of a grown man's entire palm. And here's what makes your blood run cold. If this silent assassin were stalking you through the depths, you'd never hear so much as a whisper of displaced water before those bone-crushing jaws snapped shut forever. These oceanic titans didn't just hunt, they absolutely dominated, terrorizing whales, dolphins, and even fellow sharks with such brutal efficiency that absolutely nothing in the prehistoric seas could challenge their supremacy. Fossilized teeth and vertebrae have been unearthed across every corner of our planet, from the ancient shores of Europe to the remote coasts of Australia, with the most spine-chilling discoveries concentrated near the United States, Peru, and Japan. Some of these fossilized teeth remain so perfectly preserved they appear disturbingly recent, which is precisely why marine biologists and conspiracy theorists alike whisper the same bone-chilling question. What if these monsters are still prowling the unexplored depths? Here's a fascinating detail that'll make you shudder. The name megalodon literally translates to giant tooth, and for absolutely terrifying reasons. A single tooth could reach a staggering 7 inches in length, dwarfing anything swimming in today's oceans. This prehistoric nightmare has evolved into a modern pop culture phenomenon, dominating blockbuster movies, immersive video games, and spine-tingling mockumentary shows that blur the lines between extinct legend and lurking reality. Millions still genuinely believe something equally massive and ancient might be silently hiding in the ocean's most unexplored trenches, waiting patiently for the perfect moment to resurface. So does the megalodon really exist in our modern seas? Here's the truth that makes everything infinitely more terrifying. Yes, this apex predator truly dominated our oceans for millions of years, and maybe that undeniable reality is precisely what transforms it into the most genuinely frightening sea monster of all. And next emerges Umibozu, a colossal maritime phantom that materializes precisely when nature's fury subsides. Yet somehow the eerie silence that follows becomes infinitely more bone-chilling than the storm's violent rage itself. The name Umibozu translates to sea monk, and for centuries battle-hardened Japanese fishermen have carried down spine-tingling warnings. When the churning sea suddenly transforms into an unnatural mirror-like stillness and thick fog begins creeping across the horizon like ghostly fingers, Umibozu is rising from the abyssal depths below. He ascends from the ocean's darkest trenches, an enormous, faceless entity of pure dread, often appearing as nothing more than a towering shadow that defies comprehension. Some terrified witnesses swear he possesses massive arms capable of crushing entire vessels, while others insist he's merely a gigantic head floating with malevolent intent. Regardless of his exact form, this oceanic specter can obliterate ships with a single, deliberate gesture. According to the most chilling legends, if a doomed sailor dares to speak directly to this maritime demon, Umibozu will calmly request a simple bucket. But here's where survival becomes a deadly puzzle. If you hand him an ordinary bucket, he'll methodically flood your vessel until it disappears beneath the waves forever. The only way to escape this watery grave is to present him with a bottomless bucket, confusing his ancient mind, just long enough for you to flee into the safety of distant waters. The folklore varies dramatically regarding his true size. Some survivors describe him as towering tall, as a ship's mainsail, while others swear he looms as massive as an entire mountain range blotting out the sky. Today, Umibozu's haunting presence permeates modern anime, spine-tingling horror manga, and atmospheric video games. But his appearance always carries the same unmistakable message. This isn't random silence. This is silence with calculated, malevolent purpose. Does he truly exist lurking in our oceans? Science definitively says no. But when the restless sea suddenly goes unnaturally quiet and the air itself stops moving around Japanese waters, seasoned sailors still remember one name whispered in reverent terror: Umibozu. Our next enigmatic creature lurks shrouded not only in perpetual lake mist, but wrapped in centuries of spine-tingling mysterious stories. Meet Ogopogo, a legendary serpent born from the shadowy depths of Canada's Lake Okanagan. This elusive aquatic phantom is described as an elongated serpentine entity with hauntingly smooth dark skin that seems to absorb light, crowned by a distinctive small horse-like head and featuring a gracefully curved body that undulates through the water like an ancient sea serpent. Witnesses claim this lake monster can stretch to an intimidating 49 feet in length, making it one of North America's most formidable cryptid creatures. The haunting story of Ogopogo traces its mysterious roots back to the sacred mythology of the Silex people, who carried down spine-chilling tales through generations. According to their deeply held beliefs, a powerful spirit named Enhe-a-Itk dwelled in the lake's darkest depths and demanded respectful offerings from travelers seeking safe passage across the treacherous waters. Over countless generations, this ancient tale gradually evolved and transformed into the modern legend of a lake monster that would eventually become known worldwide as Ogopogo. The first official documented sighting emerged in the early 20th century, when, in 1926, a startled group of witnesses claimed they observed a bizarre, unidentifiable creature moving through the lake's pristine waters. Since that pivotal moment, dozens of eyewitness reports have surfaced from the depths of local folklore, accompanied by frustratingly blurry photographs, shakily recorded videos, and mysteriously detailed stories that defy easy explanation. Here's a fascinating cultural tidbit. Ogopogo has earned the affectionate nickname the Canadian Loch Ness Monster, and there's even a charming statue erected in his honor in the city of Kelowna, a delightfully cute cartoon version that attracts thousands of curious tourists annually. What about today's modern perspective? Some dedicated believers theorize that Ogopogo could be a massive, undiscovered fish species, or perhaps a surviving relic species hiding deep within the lake's unexplored depths. However, skeptical scientists maintain that most reported sightings are simply misinterpretations of natural phenomena: wind-generated waves, atmospheric light distortions, or floating logs that create deceptive silhouettes. Does Ogopogo really exist lurking beneath Lake Okanagan's surface? So far, no concrete, undeniable proof has emerged from the depths. But who knows? Maybe one day, someone will capture definitive footage that changes everything we thought we knew about what inhabits our planet's hidden waters. One of the most spine-chilling mysteries ever recorded. The bloop isn't merely a strange sound captured in 1997. For countless believers worldwide, it represents an earth-shaking signal from a colossal sea monster concealed deep within the ocean's most impenetrable darkness. This haunting acoustic phenomenon was so devastatingly powerful that it reverberated through the water with such force that sensitive hydrophone sensors positioned over 3,000 miles apart simultaneously detected its bone-chilling resonance. Initially, baffled scientists found themselves completely unable to explain this otherworldly sound. It bore no resemblance whatsoever to any known marine animal's vocalizations or any recognized man-made acoustic signature ever recorded. Here's a detail that sends shivers down cryptozoologists' spines. The precise coordinates where the bloop originated lie disturbingly close to the rumored location of Urlaya, the cursed underwater city of Cthulhu, from H.P. Lovecraft's nightmarish cosmic horror mythos. This eerie geographical coincidence immediately sparked wild theories among paranormal investigators. Could the bloop actually be something unimaginably ancient and terrifying, finally stirring from its eternal slumber in the abyssal depths? Today, official mainstream science confidently maintains that the mysterious sound was nothing more than an icequake, a massive glacier violently breaking apart underwater and creating acoustic shockwaves. However, dedicated ufologists and passionate cryptid hunters vehemently disagree with this mundane explanation, insisting instead that it could have been the primordial cry of a creature so astronomically large and alien that the human mind struggles to comprehend its true scale. Whether the bloop originated from a living, breathing leviathan remains an unsolved mystery that continues to haunt marine researchers. But the electrifying way this single, mysterious sound ignited imaginations across the entire globe proves one undeniable truth. Our vast oceans may conceal far more extraordinary secrets than we ever dared to dream possible. The next mythical creature haunting our darkest waters is the legendary Loch Ness Monster. But have you ever truly delved into the spine-tingling stories surrounding the mysterious beast that allegedly prowls the murky depths of Loch Ness, a remote Scottish lake shrouded in perpetual mist and ancient secrets? Over countless decades, terrified witnesses have reported bone-chilling sightings associated with this elusive creature, affectionately yet fearfully nicknamed Nessie, a deceptively innocent name for what could be Scotland's most formidable predator. The first detail that immediately strikes terror into eyewitness accounts is the creature's absolutely staggering size. According to numerous spine-chilling testimonies, this aquatic leviathan could stretch up to an intimidating 10 meters in length, its dark, leathery hide glistening ominously as it cuts through the water with a serpentine grace that defies natural explanation. Witnesses describe an impossibly long neck that seems to bridge the gap between prehistoric dinosaur and modern serpent, creating a silhouette that haunts dreams long after the encounter ends. Some traumatized observers have sworn they glimpsed a head eerily resembling that of a massive snake or ancient crocodile, while others report distinctive fins that slice through the surface like prehistoric blades cutting through time itself. The first documented mention of the Loch Ness Monster reaches back through the mists of history to the year 565 AD, when Saint Columba, a devout Irish monk, allegedly encountered a monstrous creature in the river, flowing directly into the lake's mysterious depths. However, the modern legend truly exploded into global consciousness in 1933 when a widely publicized event centered around a controversial photograph captured on Loch Ness. This haunting image, forever known as the surgeon's photo, became one of the most passionately debated and analyzed images in cryptozoological history. Years later, the photograph was conclusively revealed as an elaborate hoax, but rather than diminishing public fascination, this revelation only seemed to intensify the creature's mystique and allure. Despite countless scientific investigations, sonar sweeps, and underwater expeditions conducted around the lake's treacherous depths, the Loch Ness Monster remains a tantalizingly unsolved mystery that continues to baffle researchers worldwide. Does this ancient beast really exist, lurking beneath Scotland's most famous waters? This haunting question can be answered differently by each curious soul who dares to ponder the possibilities. But one undeniable truth emerges from the depths. The magnetic fascination with this mysterious creature never truly fades, and Loch Ness continues to attract devoted mystery lovers, brave adventurers, and those who believe that some secrets are meant to remain hidden in the darkness below. The mermaid, or more accurately, the siren. Most of us nostalgically remember the sanitized fairy tale version, a breathtakingly beautiful woman with an iridescent fish tail, perched gracefully on sun-warmed rocks, while singing melodiously about dreams of eternal love. But the original bone-chilling legends about mermaids paint a far more terrifying picture that would haunt your nightmares for eternity. In ancient seafaring lore, especially throughout the brutal Norse and Celtic traditions, mermaids were absolutely horrifying predatory creatures who deliberately lured unsuspecting sailors to their watery graves, with hypnotically enchanting singing that no mortal man could resist. Their otherworldly voices would deliberately lead ships catastrophically off course, violently crash them against jagged rocks, and make entire crews vanish without a trace into the depths below. These malevolent beings were universally known as sirens, and they were often described in spine-chilling detail as possessing razor-sharp teeth capable of tearing flesh, unnaturally pale skin that seemed to glow with death, elongated claws perfect for dragging victims underwater, and piercing eyes that glowed with predatory hunger in the darkness. Here's a fascinating detail that catches most people completely off guard. In the earliest folklore traditions, sirens didn't possess fishtails at all. They were consistently depicted as nightmarish half-woman, half-bird creatures with massive wings and talons designed for aerial attacks. Over countless centuries, this terrifying avian image gradually merged with the more familiar sea maiden archetype, creating the hybrid, mythological creature we recognize today. Modern pop culture has dramatically softened their menacing appearance. Take Disney's beloved The Little Mermaid as a perfect example, where Ariel represents absolutely nothing like the deadly, soul-devouring sirens of ancient maritime terror. However, some contemporary films have courageously revisited the original horrifying version, like the spine-tingling horror movie The Siren from 2016, or the psychologically disturbing masterpiece The Lighthouse from 2019. Do mermaids really exist, lurking in our oceans today? Mainstream science definitively says no, but persistent sailor stories passed down through generations, unexplained mysterious disappearances in perfectly calm waters, and increasingly strange underwater footage captured by deep-sea explorers keep this ancient legend very much alive and thriving in our collective imagination. One of the most absolutely jaw-dropping, nightmare-inducing creatures featured in this video is the Titanoboa. Now imagine a serpentine monster stretching the terrifying length of two massive city buses, lined up end to end. This prehistoric giant could grow to a bone-chilling 50 feet in length and weigh over a crushing ton of pure muscle and predatory instinct. It dominated the ancient world around 60 million years ago, emerging just after the mighty dinosaurs met their catastrophic extinction, ready to claim the throne as Earth's new apex predator. Its primordial kingdom was the steaming, humid, tropical swamps of what we now call Colombia. And within those treacherous wetlands, Titanoboa wasn't merely another predator lurking in the shadows. It absolutely ruled the entire ecosystem with terrifying supremacy. Scientists believe this colossal serpent methodically hunted massive fish, armored turtles, and perhaps even young crocodiles, foolish enough to cross its path in the murky waters. But here's what makes your blood run cold. Titanoboa didn't rely on venomous fangs or quick strikes. Instead, it slowly crushed its helpless victims with such devastating strength that it could snap a spine like a brittle twig between its coils. Here's a mind-blowing fact that'll leave you stunned. Titanoboa was only discovered in 2009 when paleontologists uncovered its massive vertebrae deep within a Colombian coal mine, with some individual bones measuring as large as a human head. Today, you can witness its reconstructed skeleton in all its terrifying glory at the prestigious Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. And online forums buzz with countless wild theories about what secrets the Amazon might still be hiding. What if this prehistoric monster somehow survived the ages? So does Titanoboa really exist? Yes, it's an absolutely real prehistoric animal that once ruled the ancient swamps with iron-fisted dominance. And perhaps the most spine-chilling part is the lingering possibility that descendants could still be hiding somewhere deep in the unexplored Amazon rainforest.